now that we have you here, and I was snooping around on your page, and what really stuck out to me is because I'm single, and there's a couple of things that you and actually your friend post, and there's you're saying these things like these little quotes about being single, and can you share one of them with us? There's, I think one that stuck out to me was if he's got a 1-year-old or something, and he's still involved with the mom, he's not single.
Yeah, he's not single. And basically, we have talked a lot, Carrie and I have talked a lot about just what dating is in 2018. What does that look like now?
Yeah.
And just to be honest with you, because I'm going to be myself, is a Christian woman. You know, in 2018, what does that look like? What does a date even look like?
Yeah.
And what are some of the boundaries that you have to know for yourself of what you're not going to allow or you will allow? Where's your threshold? So what that means is, let's say for me, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe someone will have the same, is that I just wouldn't date someone that has a baby. A 3-month-old.
Oh yeah, that's young.
That is young, but let's say that someone, what that does is that tells you that perhaps, right, that there was a relationship there, obviously, there's a relationship there,
Yeah.
and that the relationship might not be fully terminated.
Right.
It might not be complete.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
can you deal? Are you the type of woman that you can deal with the baby's mom calling it all? I mean, if the baby has to go to the ER,
Yeah,
the
that's
baby
still
has to go to
a real needy
It is.
area in life right there, right?
Right. So can you deal with that? The other one is, and we say this, a man, and Carrie and I have done a show about this, just a man living with a woman.
Yeah.
So they're not together.
Oh gosh.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's his ex-girlfriend, but they're not together.
Yeah.
And that was the situation, and this is the situation that happened to me, was that I'm at the gym, and he lives in this home with his son's mother, and he's still living there, but they're broken up.
Uh-huh.
So we have to set some standards and some boundaries of what we're going to allow in a relationship and what we're not going to allow in a relationship.
Yeah. Your non-negotiables.
What are they for you,
Yes.
Gloria? And for and you know, we always talk about being taken out, and I did a seminar
Yeah.
a while back with one of the local pastors, and it was the 12 rules of dating, and
Yeah.
one of the rules is, on the first date you meet at a public place. So you're not going to their house, they're not coming to your house to cook for you.
Right.
Or you are invited to their home, and they're gonna cook for you there. That is, it's just not safe.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, and I'm very honest, I'm all for internet dating. I don't have any, you just have to know and sift. And you have to be able to use the discernment
Yeah.
that God has given us
Yeah.
to really select and listen to your intuition.
Well, good stuff. That is awesome stuff. So, here's another thing that I want to kind of pull out of you. I want to know, you're a family and marriage therapist.
Yes.
So, kind of give us a background about you. Maybe what drove you or made you want to go into that field of work.
Well, let me just first answer by saying that I think it was spiritually ordained. I think I'm walking in purpose, and I'm doing what I feel like God has put me on this planet to do. Mm-hmm. And it just happens to be that there's a title for it.
Yeah.
Because I mean that. I believe that
it's
a true desire is to serve people.
Yes.
You know, and you know, not everyone's going to be at our level of understanding. Yes. You know, some people are just not there. So I was married for 12 years, but before that, I just had my bachelor's in criminal justice, and I was a juvenile probation officer for many years. Mm-hmm. And then I at the time I was married, and then here I am, a licensed, well, at the time, because California has very rigid boundaries as far as getting licensed in California.
Right.
So here I am, newly graduated with a master's in counseling psychology, and my marriage is falling apart.
Oh. Wow.
And it was horrific, because I've been asked, how is it that you're a licensed marriage and family therapist and your own marriage fell apart?
Yeah.
And that's a tough question. And so to that, I would say I wasn't always a therapist. We were married very young, and we neglected the marriage. I'm very passionate because I feel like, you know, I am always talking about vicarious learning. Learn through my mistakes. I'll tell you what I did wrong. Every single one mistake. Don't do it. You know?
Yeah.
And what that would look like. And I get a lot of messages, you know, questions on Instagram, just like, hey, this is what's going on. And I'll tell you what I've learned so you don't do the same mistakes. That's what we're here for, is for the human experience of learning from each other. So that's really one of my passions. And that's kind of what led me into this field, because I knew that my marriage was falling apart. And if you have never experienced divorce, you know that divorce happens here, but it really began. An emotional divorce has happened
a while back. Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
And we had been emotionally disconnected for 3 to 5 years before we actually did the paperwork. And that's sad, but true.
You know, one of the things that in snooping around your page,
yeah, snoop away.
One of the things that I really, really admired about you and your friend that's here with us, you guys, I want
Carrie Campbell. She's
Campbell.
Gonna go next.
I know, right?
We'll drive. I mean, she's got her own, but you know.
You guys are so real, the both of you, and you know, I was watching a lot of the stuff that you were saying, and you know, you're just putting yourself out there, letting people know how real you are. The title doesn't eliminate the fact that you have a real life, that you go through real life things, and then you take responsibility. I was like crying when you were talking about. I don't want to cry right now. And you were talking about, and it was difficult. It sounded difficult, and I can see that there's emotion rising up in you now as we're talking. The responsibility, your own responsibility. That's brave. That is so courageous to do.
Well, you know, that's what I mean. When we take responsibility for what I did in the marriage that caused the divorce. So I'm not saying that he didn't do, and I had so many messages from that video. And this is not about him.
Yeah.
This wasn't about him. It was about me and what I had done. And what you can do to take responsibility for you. And so I get a lot of messages, well, he's doing this. We're not talking about him. He's not here. Right. I do spiritual coaching, because with this lady, it's spiritual coaching. And she'll give me 40 things of what he's doing wrong. And again, we're not talking about him. We're going back to you. We're really good deflectors. So here's this thing, and we take it back to him.
Yeah.
Well, it's you. What can you do? Because we know that whatever people mirror us. And so your spouse mirrors you. You know, whenever me and Carrie always say, you know, our spouse, whoever we marry, they're just going to be a mirror of who we are. And if you had a boyfriend, now I don't know if you're in a relationship or you're single.
No, I'm single.
Okay.
I went through a divorce.
Single.
I went through a divorce as well, and I was a well-known minister. A lot of the people that are following me, you know, are in the same organization that I was in for many years, so they know me in that sense. And just like you, you know, people are looking, and you know, the looky-loos, and why does she think that she could say this, or why you know, when her marriage is falling apart.
And that's what I'm saying. Oh, marriage and family therapist. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing. Oh, and then I say this because I'm going to challenge everyone a little bit here and say that Christian marriages, the divorce rate is neck to neck with secular ones. So why are we're saved, right? Yeah. We're saved, but you're still talking mess to your husband, or not you, but you're still and my ex-husband was a deacon, and I'm not going to say the church, but was a deacon at her church. Yeah. And did all these things, and we would be arguing before we'd get to the church. Yeah. Oh, but you should have seen. I mean, we were picture perfect. Husband, wife, and the 3 kids. It looked good from outside, and inside it was like horrible, Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So then I realized that it's not. Why is it that Christian marriages are not? Why is it that they're not implementing what the Word says?
So true. So true. Yeah. And I love the way that, and I think that you do this naturally in your demeanor and what you say, and what the way that you are connecting with someone. You automatically make me review myself. As you're speaking, I'm thinking, gosh, I did that.
Well, I'm gonna before you give me all the credit, I want to say I give God all the credit, because if you look at me, I'm gonna fail you. But I think that God uses people that are willing, not the perfect. Yeah. The willing.
Yes, the willing.
The willing. And I said, God, and this was. And in the 5 stages of divorce, that it's the course that I've been working on, that I'm ready to launch, I talk about how we go through this after the divorce. It was like this, it's all him, and we don't take responsibility.
Right.
And some of the trauma that we had in the marriage, we never really deal with it, and then we're so ready to jump into the next relationship.
Yes.
And a lot of humans be aware that they're teenagers trapped in adult bodies. So, some of their desires and needs and temper tantrums, and I did a lot of that.
Yeah. Wow, this is
so it's God. I want to say that I think I made it because to God be the glory.
Yeah, and there's a lot of and I know, because I have to work a lot on my own self and self-discipline and self-development and all those great things that I have to reflect on, right? And coming out of a relationship. But he went right into the next marriage.
That was immediately. Like you were, and that hit me too, because he did the same thing.
Yeah.
And see, I interpreted that as I was never important to him.
Exactly,
I was never, so he never even really loved me.
Exactly.
But in this program, I talk about sitting, and I always do videos where I'm talking about sitting in your feelings.
And I seen that one. It was really good.
We run from these feelings that will really push us and make us grow. So how can we not run from feeling lonely? I want you to sit in it. I want you to experience that. What is it like? What does it feel? What's your heart rate like? Think about it and feel in it, and sit in that space. Or it could be, we think it's always loneliness, but it could be disappointment. It could be, we think that the range of emotions is just happy, sad, and there's many, there's a chart that we have in therapy where we ask the kids, point to one, how you're feeling. And so there's many different emotions that we're feeling. Sit in that for a while.
Yeah.
And the key is to self-regulate, to self-soothe yourself without having an external person.
Yes.
Food.
Yeah.
Shopping. There's a lot of different things. So it's not,
that make you feel good, right?
and it all comes. It's already in us.
Yeah.
God has already given us everything that we need for you to be happy. It's all in here already. It's not externally, but we believe that it is. Well, if he would just do this, and I've said this to my best friend, well, if my son would just do this. No, it's all in here already. It's how we respond to different situations in our lives.
Yeah. So you talked about you talked a little bit about your marriage breakup. You're genuine, you're real, you're raw. You're passionate.
Does all that come through?
It does. It really does.
I get really intense sometimes.
Yes.
And so
Really,
not a lot of people can handle that.
Yeah.
Can you handle it? Because not a lot of people can.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that I don't think it's a whole lot of people, though.
Okay.
I think that you connect pretty well. But then now you have a book coming out.
Yes. And
Tell us a little bit about your book.
The book is a memoir. So in it, I talk a lot about being brought here. I don't know if you know Spanish, Gloria.
A little bit.
Okay, so el coyote is the person that brings you, that your mom or whoever brings you to come
to the States
illegally.
Uh-huh.
And so my mom did that. So me and my sister, that's how we got here, through via a coyote. And so what happened with all that is that, you know, it went into a series of horrible things that I had to overcome. And without getting too deep into that, because then I'll really get emotional. Mm-hmm. You know, there was a lot of childhood trauma. Mm. And so, you know, I went through a period where I was just really angry at God, because I thought, why would you let me go through all that? Mm. Like, why would you? But all that has shaped me to be the person that I am today. Mm-hmm. So it really, for me, it helps me understand people, that a lot of our negative thinking, so the way we talk to our children becomes their inner dialogue as adults. Yeah. So and you know, and just for the record, me and my mother have an amazing relationship now.
Yeah. That's great.
However, she, you know, I'm from El Salvador, and in countries like that, sometimes we don't understand that parenting is more than just physical. Like you did something wrong and then just hit you. Yeah. And to even say that spanking and all that can deposit aggression in children. Mm-hmm. And feelings of unworthiness, and because you have to talk to our children. We have to talk to them. Yes. And so she did a lot of verbal abuse and just emotional abuse, mm-hmm. because she didn't know any better. She recycled the words that she was taught. Mm. And that was really how I was able to understand, and once I understood that, I was able to truly forgive her.
That's wonderful. That's really good.
So me and her, I mean, she's one of the reasons I'm going to buy her a home next year. That's my goal. I'm going to buy her a house. But, you know, and I have a friend, and she and I have similar childhoods, mm-hmm. and she's unable to forgive her mom. But I tell her that unforgiveness traps us, not them. You know? Yeah. Totally. So that kind of, and so to make a long story short, Gloria, I ended up in foster care. And, you know, I never returned back to my mom, because I knew that it wasn't my plan or my journey, or I just didn't, I don't know, but I just never returned back to her. And so, you know, I just got, I had 2 sets of foster parents, and I keep in touch with both of them.
That's wonderful. Mm-hmm.
I had great foster parents, amazing. Mm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. I had foster parents too, for a very, very short time.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go into foster care for 1 year, until I turned 18. Then I was kind of on my own after that.
Yeah, but see, the foster care has changed.
Has it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because now you can get services and resources till the age of 24.
Oh, wow.
Back then, it was like,
you're cut off after.
Yeah, and I did the Los Angeles County has like a program called Independent Living Program. Oh. And I did that for about 6 months, but then I got pregnant, so then they kicked me out.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Gosh. This is incredible. Hi, Dave. I can see you on there. Thanks
Dave.
For watching. Dave Daly. He's the Monster Motivator. He has his own show as well. And he's an amazing guy, Dave. Dave is awesome.
You're amazing. I don't even know you.
He's the buff guy. He's the handsome buff guy that's out there.
What? Handsome?
I know, right? No, he's really cool. Dave had me on his show as a co-host as well. But he's really good with. He wrote a book about conquering your fears. And he's got the famous monster roar rah, at the end, and he's just really, he had all the people that's been on the show just talk so positive about him, and we've since being on the show and things like that, some of us have ventured on to, other positive entrepreneurial things. And Dave is just an encourager, just really awesome.
And that's why I made my own. I made another Facebook page, and so ask Nelly Johnson, and I'm going to be doing weekly videos in that about just different topics, because it's not just marriage. It could be conflict with a coworker. How would you handle that? My goal would be to build a community where you can get some feedback from other people. We need other people. Sometimes I think that we're the only ones that we're going through a problem, and we think we're the only ones in the planet, and that's not true.
Yeah, I'm learning that. Slowly, I'm learning that. The more that I talk, the more that I, inch my way out there to be more vulnerable. I feel like I'm pretty intense, kind of. I feel like that's how I can connect with you. But I am still holding back. There's some real pretty intense stuff that I am holding back online, because I got family that are watching, that love the people that I may be talking about. I don't name names and things like that. I am not out there to expose people and their dirt.
Right. That's not our job. That's not what. And so, like I said, I bring it back to, and even in therapy. Some of the clients that I've dealt with are adolescents, and we want to blame other people. I'm like this because my mom, because this person did this and that, and if we cut all that, but my thing is, give me tangible things to do to get there, because sometimes you just need to conquer your fears. Well, how do I do that? Well, what do I do? Change your words. Well, how do I do that? So one of the things is replacing them. So I'm going to take this word, I can't, and I'm going to give you, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So we have to change your words.
Replacing, awesome. Good stuff. Nelly, ask Nelly.
Ask. If you have any questions, and that's what I'm saying, that's where it came from. I want to help and provide some feedback.
I like the title. I love the Ask Nelly title.
My dream, me and Carrie always talk about having this TV show where people are going to, it came from, remember the Dear Sally? Remember used to be in the newspaper?
Right.
I wanted to name it the Dear Nelly, but I just thought, let's do Ask Nelly, just because I want people to ask. So Instagram, I get more questions, and I just answer them, because there's a lot of relationship questions out there. And I can be a resource. I like that. I love that.
I love it. I can't wait to see the show. If you guys do a show, I think it's going to be great. I totally
thank you for that, because we need your support.
Okay, all right, awesome. Nelly, now we talked about a book. We talked about a divorce. We talked about we watched you get real and raw, intense, and all that wonderful stuff that you do so naturally. Is there anything else before we close that you want to mention, that you want to share, that you would, there's something that I usually kind of ask the question to my guests, and that is, what would you say in closing that makes Nelly who Nelly is?
I really want to give you this really professional answer, but at the same time, I want you to know that I'm really, really goofy, and you have to be able to kind of not take yourself so seriously. Some people are, but that's also a symptom of their childhood. I tie it all to that, because sometimes we are so hard on ourselves, and I should have done this and I should have done that, and and we're so critical of ourselves. But I've learned through people that I have in my life that I can only be me. Like on my video that I just posted on Ask Nelly Johnson, that's the Facebook, you can get a hold of me there. I say that I can't be this rigid, person, because I might crack a joke in the middle of something and then you're going to be laughing, so at the same time, it's like I'm very serious, and there are topics that I get very serious on because I'm so passionate, but at the same time, I'm lighthearted and I'm goofy, and my best quality, I always ask people, say, when I've gone on dates, this guy said, what's your best quality? I'm like, I'm funny. I wanted to be like a stand-up comedian in high school, so I'm like, hello, is this thing on, so that's all who I can be, is just myself. And I'm very reachable. You guys can ask. That's what I'm saying. Ask. Sometimes it's just a different perspective that we needed to get over that.
Now, I have a lot of people out here that are watching that they have their own churches, they lead churches and things like that. You are a full-fledged therapist, and I sense that you're also a speaker, that you go on, that you minister the word and things. If someone asked you to come, would you do that? Do you speak?
Oh, absolutely. I want you to know that I am not this expert in public speaking, because I'm not. That would be untrue. But what I do offer is education, as far as, like, we just spoke. Carrie and I did an event where she spoke about mastering your thoughts. I spoke about mastering your words. And the pastor that we collaborated with, he spoke on mastering your heart. So our goal is to create a Master Your Mind Foundation, where we are going to be able to serve our community. And we're talking about Lancaster, California, in our own backyard.
Awesome.
So yes, I would be, and I can talk about just, every personal development, because it's an array of topics that we can cover. Because of not just my education, but my personal experience, I think, is what I bring. Here's the textbook stuff, but that textbook stuff only is limited. Yep. And I say this, and what I would say to anyone out there, and this is what I was going to say, that therapy and the clinical interventions that we learned in grad school only have a limit. And the limit is that they don't have the supernatural power that prayer does. And I'm a firm believer that true healing only comes from God. I can't say that because then I would be like going against the grain of who I am.
Yeah.
So, and I wrote this on Facebook. If you stalk me back enough, you know that illegal, in foster care, physically abused, sexually abused, all these things, and ended up in foster home. And so when you see me now, it looks like I'm polished. Here's this licensed marriage and family therapist. But out of all that, the reason why I made it is because I said, yes, Jesus. I accepted Jesus Christ in my life, and He gave me that true healing. So the combination of clinical interventions that school provides and this superpower of the Holy Spirit, and that is what truly I feel in my life has really brought healing. Out of all that, it's just that. And I say that, so in therapy, I always ask clients, what's your spiritual background, so that that's my, hey, we can maybe implement some spiritual practices. Whether they're Catholic, they rezar, I don't know how you say that in English. How do you say? Oh, look, hi, Raul. Amen. That's right. So, that, or prayer, or meditate, and to implement that. So it's a integrated approach.
Amen to that.
Amen. Amen. To God be the glory.
With that said, we are going to end. Anything else you want to add to that?
Just you guys can follow me. Like I said, Ask Nelly Johnson. That's my Facebook. And that's a good way to get a hold of me, that you guys can send me a message there. If you guys have a question, if anyone has a question about whether it's marriage, relationship, divorce, and on there I will be posting about my 5 stages of divorce, knowing when to move on.
Wow, I can't wait to see that myself. You guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.
Nelly, give me a hug.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you.
Oh, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you for having me. Amen. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. So honored.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.